Okay, welcome back, and congratulations on having tea so quickly. Really appreciate it. So we have something rather special, and to help introduce it, I have with me, you're still here, Madeleine de Buning, who's the Vice President of Global Affairs EMEA for Netflix. What is it we're about to see?
Yeah, we're going to see a hard watch. We're going to see Adolescence. And that is one of the shows that sparkled so much conversation. I just heard that also quite a lot of you had seen it. And that makes us super proud. Because we want to be relevant and we want to make sure that we talk about the key topics right now in society, about relationships, about identity, about pressures. And well, we picked this clip together because it is this very difficult conversation parents have with their children to find out what is actually happening. So please take a look.
Well just before we do that, for those who haven't seen it, just roughly, who are the two characters and why are they having this conversation?
Thank you so much, yeah. So, but then I spoil it maybe for some. I will talk around a little bit, but something really, really horrible happened to the boy and someone around him that had to do with social media. I'm just talking a bit vaguely now. What you will see is that the father is talking with the son to find out what is actually the role of social media, what is happening. And that's a conversation you will see.
And the father just happens to be a detective investigating the issue.
Yes.
It's brilliant. Okay, let's watch it and then come back and we'll have a chat.
Great.
Okay?
Yeah.
What's up? You all right? Is this about that guy in your class, that fellow guy? Huh?
No,
What's up?
sit down.
Adam, you're freaking me out. What's going on?
Just,
Is this?
he said he wanted to talk to people. Might be able to help you understand.
And you can help me understand? Yeah? That's what you're saying? Adam, is this...
You wanna go, Dad?
I don't want to go.
You wanna go gym
Listen
or
to
work
me.
or something?
I'm
Man,
here.
the door's right
I'm
there.
here.
Just leave, Dad.
What are you doing? Have you got information about that? Do you know where that knife is? Has someone said something to you? Because, listen, I've got sniffer dogs, people down drains, and all sorts of stuff going on.
Dad, it's not going well because you're not getting it.
What am I not getting?
You're not reading what they're doing. What's happening?
What are you talking about?
Insta. You've been looking at Insta, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you've seen what she wrote.
Well, I have. Okay.
Looks like she's being nice, right?
Isn't she?
The dynamite. What do you think that means?
I don't know.
It's an exploding red pill. Pills, the blue pills means you see the world as it wants you to.
That's from The
red pills
Matrix. You've been watching The Matrix?
What?
Don't worry.
Okay.
Yeah, don't worry. Carry on.
Matrix.
Carry on.
Red pill is like, I see the truth. It's a call to action by the manosphere,
Manosphere.
which is where the 100 comes in. The 80 to 20 rule.
Adam, listen. My brain can't take all this. I don't know what you're talking about. Just break it down.
80% of women are attracted to 20% of men. Women, you must trick them because you'll never get them in a normal way. 80% of women are cut off or she's saying he's an incel, Dad.
He's 13. How can you be involuntary celibate at 13?
I know.
Who isn't celibate at 13, huh?
She's saying always will be. That's what they say, you're an incel. You're gonna be, I don't know, a virgin forever, basically. And all those people have fired, which means they're agreeing with her.
Okay. So this is bullying. I mean, it's a bit of a stretch, but...
Don't believe me, then.
No, I'm not saying I don't believe you. Where are you going? Hey, stop. What are you doing? This is useful. Like, I didn't know. It's hard to believe, like, all that from 2 symbols.
You text hearts, right? To mum.
When I don't know what to reply, yeah.
What colour?
Red.
Means love. Purple, horny. Yellow, I'm interested. Are you interested? Pink, I'm interested, but not in sex. Orange, you're gonna be fine. It all has a meaning, Dad. Everything has a meaning.
Oh, it's a good thing I only text Mum red then, huh? Okay.
I could show you 15 others. Messages sent to Jamie, all different emojis, they're saying the same thing.
Look. Are you saying like Katie was leading this incel stuff? Is that what it is? Yeah, like she was bullying Jamie. Yeah?
I don't know, Dad. I don't know them. They're 2 years below me. This is just what I'm seeing on his Insta, you know?
Okay. Look, I can't tell you what you did. You know that, right?
You don't know what he did, Dad. I just thought you needed to know. It was just embarrassing watching you blunder about. I'm sorry.
Don't be. I have been blundering, to be fair. Look. Does any of this Instagram stuff affect you?
It's not about me.
I know. But does it, son?
You don't call me son. You call other people son. You never call me son.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Nah, I'm on Insta, but I don't post.
And you're okay, yeah?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Listen.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah?
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. I should, get back to the last bit of class.
Okay. You go. Hey, thank you.
I'll take one. You go.
Oof. If it's okay, I asked the question, was there someone in the room that saw this for the first time? Okay, a couple of you, okay, yeah. Okay, good to know. I'll sit next to you.
So watching that again, what's your immediate reaction? What's your emotional reaction to that?
Well, I had exactly the same emotional reaction, and that surprised me a little bit than when I watched it the first time. A goosebumps, because it's so uncomfortable, and you can so much relate as a parent how it is to get that out of your kid. What is it? Do I understand it? What's really happening? And therefore, what I really like that you did as FOSI is have this discussion guide, because that helps to have that conversation as a parent. And I think that is needed. We need to have that, and that should be part of the discussion that we're having.
Well, as you saw with the dad, he was struggling to find the words and how to talk to his, even though he was the adult, he was the parent, and in this case, he was the detective, for heaven's sakes. And he knew all the whats. He knew what happened. He had the videotape. He had all sorts of things. He had the whats, but he didn't have the why. And his son was trying to gently explain, well, Dad was blundering around what the why was. But there was not at first, but there was a humility about the dad eventually to get to a place where he could actually hear what his son was trying to tell him. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because he also didn't have the words, maybe.
Yeah.
Right? Because he didn't have the word, then there was not a connection.
Yeah.
And of course, as a father, you always know. But actually, there's another planet happening and another language being spoken on that planet.
Yeah.
And he was outside of that planet, and that was a key factor for him to solve the problem.
Exactly. All right. Well, listen, could we have the house lights up again? Because I'd love to start at the front here and then move back to get your reactions to what you just saw. Any comments or questions in the front row? Do we have, we should have a microphone. Here we go. Go ahead.
I think that as like parents, like they don't understand. It's just like as simple as that. They just don't understand. So as a child, like trying to tell your parent what's going on, and especially in this situation, it is really hard because you don't know how to tell them without them being too worried, or because they don't know what to do and you don't know what to do. So how would they know what to do if you're the one that grew up with it and you're the one that actually understands it versus the fact that they don't?
Let me ask you a question. How did you think the boy in this case did with his dad?
I think that, well, viewing the situation they were in, I think it's really good that he told him, but it was really hard for him to tell his dad because he knew that his dad wouldn't understand. And yeah.
Good. Another comment or question?
In my opinion, this scene plays a significant role because it shows how different the mindset of a child is compared to the mindset of an adult. And it also highlights the fact that as the kids express in different ways, and the parents have no idea the emojis and everything had a hidden meaning that you guys don't know. So,
have you had similar conversations with your parents?
yeah.
How did it go?
Good.
Good. Well, you won't be appearing in the next Netflix series. You've got it figured out.
Well, maybe as an actress, you never know.
True. Talk to her later.
I actually watched the show with my parents, and
Did you?
they paused it after this scene to let me know that they didn't understand any of what just happened. And I didn't know how to explain it to them because...
Let me ask you a question. Did you understand all of the explanation yourself?
Not really.
Ah,
Because I before watching the show, I also hadn't heard most of that stuff, but also just generally, they said to me that they also didn't really understand a lot of what happened, like on, social media, because my dad is on social media, and he sends me stuff all the time, and he's like, what does this mean? And kind of like the boy in the clip, I also have no idea how I'm supposed to explain it, because it's almost like explaining something in like your own work jargon to someone who has a completely different job, you know? I don't know if that makes sense.
no, your job is to be a teenager.
Yeah.
Right. Did you have a comment?
Yeah, I did. So I think that trying to explain something to your parents is quite hard as well, just because you also don't want them to judge you for knowing what it means. Also, when I first watched the show, I didn't know what the different emojis meant. I did know the 80-20 rule, but I didn't know anything else. So I think it's also sometimes hard to explain to your parents something that you don't fully understand yourself.
Right.
So I think that, the boy in the clip, he was trying to explain to his dad the best he knew without, one, making it seem like he was involved so that his dad doesn't have to worry about him, because that's also the last thing you want, is for your parents to go mental and think, oh my goodness, what is my child exposed to? So I think that that's also something that kids have to keep in mind as well.
Yeah, when we talk to parents, we say, whatever you do, don't overreact, because that'll shut the kid down. Did you have another comment?
Yeah, and it's about how kids develop on social media. Because, for example, I knew about those emojis and the meanings of them because I use social media a lot. And depends on every kid and every mindset and how you use social media.
Okay.
And how you develop.
Yeah. Did you guys have any comments on it?
Well, I would say when I was watching this, I was like a parent. I didn't know anything what that meant. So what the kid was talking about, I was like, what? Can you just tell me like in simple words, like the father? Because going all around with pauses and all, just say, oh, that emoji means this, this means that. And yeah, that's basically what's happening. Just, I would say, if I was the kid, I would try to explain it in a simple way, so that the father would actually understand me.
Right.
Just be open, just like it was previously mentioned, just have an open conversation so both sides can understand each other.
Do you have conversations with your parents about this stuff?
I mean, not this stuff, don't really have anything, but I do talk to my parents, and, well, we try to understand each other, so.
Good. Did you have a thought?
It's quite similar. When I was watching the show and this moment popped up, my dad kind of glanced at me like this, in a look like, what does this mean? What's going on here? And yeah, it's quite the same as mostly everyone said. I also didn't have a clue on what was going on, and I was trying to understand what the kid was trying to say with the meanings of the emojis.
Yeah, another one here. I think, you know, we're all at different stages, parents and kids. It's not like all kids know everything about social media. That's not the case. And not all parents, obviously, don't know everything about social media.
Yeah, so I just want to quickly add that this scene wasn't the most shocking, like for me and probably for the most of us. Like your reaction, it was shock, the goosebumps and everything. For me, it wasn't like this. I was more impressed. I was impressed that the boy actually told his dad this thing, and I saw how difficult it was for him because, well, they're not in like the closest relationship. So it was more like impressive than shocking. So, and I think it just like shows how our world is, you know, because we are not shocked that the bullying was the reason of like what happened, you know. So yeah, I think the most difficult thing, and I was glad that the boy told the dad, because the most difficult thing is to actually like tell someone, because yeah.
Okay. Did you have a comment?
Yeah, I really loved this scene, and I did really feel that it was a bit exaggerated, because after that scene, I feel like we never use this kind of stuff in life, so we don't really send the meaning of the heart or whatever. But for this exaggeration, I felt like I really understood how different the father and the kids are and how split they are. Because in the very first episodes, father really laughs at his son for any of his words, and it shows his partner like what he texts him, and I really see how they are not a whole family. Yeah. So it's really hard for me to understand that this guy, even through this situation in his family, he tries to get his father to the end of the case.
Yeah.
Yeah, and maybe like Stephen, what you were saying, like the knowledge levels are different, right? And I think since the knowledge levels are so different, it's really about listening. And what made me feel so uncomfortable is that I could empathize with the parent role, right? Because that felt like he felt first like, oh, I don't understand. And then you saw him feeling really stupid. And oh, I missed this whole universe. And actually, maybe it isn't a problem that some of you are into some of these icons and not, but it's really good that we all understand that and try to speak each other's language by listening, parents and children. And I think these guidelines are the guides that you have formulated are really a great tool to listen.
Oh, appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, I've been in this space since the mid-90s, and I didn't know the dynamite thing. I mean, there's just so much happening all at once. It is impossible to keep up with it all. I think we just have to be kind and patient with each other as much as possible, and particularly we parents, not to overreact when our kids bring us something. Just to conclude, I'd love to hear, speaking of stories, I'd love to hear the story about you coming to Netflix and how that came about. Do you want to share that?
Yeah, so that actually was very much about protection of minors and parental control. So in my earlier life, I was in public office. I was the chair of the regulatory authority of the media, both in the Netherlands and in Europe, the different regulators together. And Netflix was trying to find out what would be a good place to be vested out of, like where would be the headquarters. Well, as you have noticed, this is our headquarters. So Netflix decided to vest out of the Netherlands. And a part of that journey was talking with the regulators. And that happened to be me back at today. And so I talked with Reed Hastings, the founder and CEO of Netflix, and I told him, well, you have to do at least one of these two things. And the top number one was for me, because that had been my passion, both in the Netherlands and also in Europe, as a chair of ERGA, to protect minors. So the rules were then that only broadcast had to have parental controls and have a good policy on protection of minors. And I told Reed Hastings, when he asked, what should we do to be a success? I said, well, make sure you voluntarily adhere to the rules for protection of minors and take it to the next step. Because then you will be accepted and appreciated, and it's going to be great for us as well as a regulator that you give the right example, that although the law is a little bit lagging behind to this new form of distribution through SVOD, so that's actually how I started. As a regulator, saying protection of minors is important. And now I'm here, sitting here on behalf of Netflix. And I think, we keep ourselves very responsible to provide parents with the right control mechanisms and the right information to make the best choices with and for their children, depending on the age. Right? So, yeah.
Excellent.
That's like full circle. And that made me, I was really emotional when I was watching the show. I remember it was a Saturday morning. I can sleep a bit later. And of course, for my work, I need to watch quite a lot, as you can imagine. And then I didn't leave my bed the whole day because I watched it. And I couldn't get out. I couldn't eat. I couldn't drink. I had this feeling of like, ah! And that was what this show did to me.
Yeah, I mean, it is a difficult watch. For those who are squeamish, it isn't violent in the sense that the only bit of violence that you see is on some CCTV. It's black and white, it's in a distance. There's no blood or gore, any of that. It's just very intense throughout, and it's a single shot for each episode, right? So it's almost like 4 one-hour plays, because when the action starts, the camera just follows, and it doesn't stop until the hour is over. It's remarkable. It's just a remarkable piece of film, apart from anything else. But what really made it stand out for me, not only because it touched on online safety issues, but Stephen Graham, the co-author and the lead actor and so on, in all of his press interviews, he has been very careful not to point the blame at any one person or the internet or schools or parents. It's a whole of society issue that we have to deal with here, which I thought was incredibly good of him to use that as his sort of guiding star for the program. And can I ask you this question? I hear there's a rumor there might be a 5th episode.
Ooh, I'm looking at my team. I don't think so, honestly. No.
5th episode?
No, I don't think so.
So the rumor is that there will be a 5th episode, and it will be from the family who, shall we say, the victim's family, their perspective.
That would be a good idea, actually, yeah.
Well, you should talk to someone about that.
I will definitely do so.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Then next year we can come back and watch that.
Okay, deal.
Please thank Madeleine very much for this. Thank you, Netflix. Okay, thanks so much. All right. Okay, thank you again. Cheers. Okay, we have another panel coming up.